After a little bit of a hiatus on the channel, BMWs are back, and what a way to kick off a new car review than with a BMW i5 M60. This is nearly 600 brake horsepower of BMW M performance, and it will cost you, deep breath, just under £100,000. That's £40,000 more than the Kia EV6 GT, which I fell in love with last week. And this particular variant, well, this has some bells and whistles, and they'll set you back nearly £115,000. Hi guys, I'm Tish and welcome back to my channel Auto Social UK. In today's video, I've been a very lucky girl and I've been able to spend a week with the BMW i5 M60, and I'm going to find out if it's really worth the price tag, but also if BMW have finally been able to inject that M performance heritage into an electric car. I really hope so. So if you want to find out what I think of this iconic BMW, then make sure you keep watching. And if you like new car reviews and car content, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. So first off, let's talk about design. Now, the BMW iX is very controversially an electric car. It's very obviously electric, it looks different from anything else out there, and it's very in your face. Whereas when it comes to their saloons, BMW tend to be a little bit more gentle in their styling. They look a lot more similar to the ICE variants. Of course, there's one glaringly thing here which is telling us this is electric, and that's the iconic glow around the kidney grille. If you didn't have that iconic glow, then you could still tell by the blanked off front grille. Now this is the spec that I would definitely have my i5 in. I love this colour. It's one of those colours that changes between blue and white depending on what light is hitting it. It looks great with contrasting M Sport black elements and the slightly more aggressive front and rear bumpers that you get on the M Sport cars. I also love the alloy wheels. These are 21-inch BMW individual wheels, finished in a two-tone design with those red brake calipers. They really do give a hint to the sportiness of this car. I do have to apologise to the state of this car. It's absolutely filthy, but as you can see, I've not had the most favourable weather. Great weather for X-Drive, however, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Around the back, I love the styling of pretty much any 5 Series, and the i5 is no exception. I love the way you've got the boot lip just tipped in carbon. It feels special without being too in your face. And you've also got, in this M Sport variant, a dedicated rear diffuser, which is aggressive, but it's not trying to be combustion. It looks electric, and I like that. Very simple, very classy. But of course, the additional great thing about the shape of the i5 is the amount of space you get. Inside this saloon's boot, you will find a whopping amount of space. You also get an electric boot, and inside here, as you can see, there's tons and tons of storage. This is a week's worth of a girl going away. That goes to show how much is in there. I've got around 3 cabin bags, coats, shopping, and there's still half the boot that hasn't been used up. Underneath the boot floor, you'll also find additional storage for your charging cables, so you can keep those out of the way. One of the cool little features that I like is the hidden 5s. So just in this rear quarter, you'll see a 5 embossed into the gloss black. But also, if you open the front and also the rear door, you'll just see another 5 start to peek through. So it's not all that easy to tell apart the combustion and also the electric versions from the outside when it comes to the BMW 5 Series, but there's no mistaking them on the inside. The interior of the i5 M60 really is very, very special. I love it in here. I've had this car for a week and I've only just scratched the surface of what this car has to offer. There's so much. You can even see now the screen is moving as I'm moving my hand because it has gesture control. One of my favourite things has got to be this light bar which runs all the way along the centre of the car. It's almost in a 3D crystal design, and it's interactive depending on what you're doing in the car. For instance, it changes with your modes. Currently, I'm in an expressive mode, which changes the sounds and the ambience of the cabin. There's also a digital art. This, again, is more about the experience, and it's a bit of fun that BMW are having. But if you switch your mode to your efficient mode, This will change your lighting to blue, and it will also reduce some of your consumables, and you can activate your maximum range. This will reduce things like your air conditioning and things that may eat into that range. If you switch into sport mode, this turns off the traction control, and it means that the cabin glows a very sporty red. But as you see, it changes a little bit into blue. Now what this does is as you accelerate, it'll actually turn it red as you accelerate and go back blue as you decelerate, giving you a really sporty interactive feel. Now I'm going to put it back into efficiency mode because I do not want to eat into too much of my electric, because believe me, I'm going to be putting my foot down later to just show you what this car is capable of. Other materials inside the cabin are fabulous. You've got a really nice leather wrapped dashboard, which is very, very soft. You've got that crystal element in the middle, and then you've got this high gloss carbon effect. Of course, you get the M Sport steering wheel, which is very classic with the M at the bottom. You also get the red banding and you get the red and blue stitching. It feels very, very sporty. And there's the addition of a boost button, which I'll talk about later. This particular car has been spec'd to have all of the crystal elements, and I love these. You've got the crystal gear selector, the crystal central dial, and you've also got the crystal volume control. It just makes it feel a little bit more special. Not going to be for everyone, but diamonds are a girl's best friend, so I absolutely love it. There is one main complaint about this car, and that it's probably a little bit overcomplicated. This car has got the addition of probably a few tech packs which make it even more confusing, but there is absolutely enormous amounts of function in this vehicle. Loads of settings, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are wireless, but they took me a while to set up. The thing with this car is it's very, very high tech, but that does mean it automatically connects to your Apple CarPlay, and to be honest, I'd rather just have a cable, but I couldn't seem to get it to work on just the cable. And then I had to go through loads of settings, and it took me about 10 minutes to set it up. That is a long time for Apple CarPlay. The rear of a car is not normally somewhere where I spend much of my time, but I don't very often spend much of my time with a car quite like the BMW i5. This car is so good as an executive saloon. One of my favourite features that I love about it is the rear USB ports, which are actually built into the back of the headrests. Now, you do also have more conventional USB slots as well, which are just in this centre console, making it 4 USB-C slots just for the rear of the car. You also have climate control, heated seats, and you get these rear blinds as well. Now, I found this fantastic because when I've been charging the car, I've come into the back, I've plugged in my laptop, and I've been doing my work in the back here. Of course, you also get a pull-out armrest, and that sunroof comes quite far back as well, so rear seat passengers also get the benefit. There is one very small thing that I think this car could have, which the EV6 GT has, and that's the ability to slide the front seats forward and backwards, maybe on the side of the seat. That meant that before I got in here and had a lounged area, I could have moved the seat without having to move around to the front and move it. But it's very, very, very small points. Other than that, it's so great back here. There's loads of space, it's so very comfortable, and it just feels as premium as the front. The previous generation 5 Series was highly regarded and remained popular until it was discontinued this year. It was known for being a well-rounded executive saloon. The i5 justifies its M name with its impressive power output of a whopping 593 brake horsepower, similar to the last M5. Its 2.3-tonne weight does affect its acceleration, but it still manages the 0 to 62 mph sprint in just 3.8 seconds. Coming straight out of the EV6 GT, I didn't think I could be shocked. But as my hand gripped that boost button behind the steering wheel, my stomach was left behind me. Thanks to the X-Drive system, the twitchy EV6 was left incomparable to the grip and power of the M60. It offers exceptional performance in dry conditions. It feels progressive and natural with impressive grip despite its weight. The front end is powerful and the car maintains a sense of flow and interaction, embodying the essence of the BMW. The entry-level eDrive 40 has a claimed range of 357 miles, while this M60 model has an additional electric motor and a range of 315. However, my real-world testing during this cold spell shows that the i5's range is closer to the mid-200 mark, which is slightly less than the Tesla Model S. Charging times vary depending on the charger used. It takes approximately 13 hours to fully recharge the car with a 7.4 kilowatt AC charger, 8 hours and 15 minutes with an 11 kilowatt AC charger, and just 30 minutes with a 205 kilowatt DC rapid charger, which can charge the battery from 10 to 80%. When it does come down to answering if this car is worth the nearly £100,000 price tag, I find it a little bit of a tricky question to answer because ultimately, this is never something that I'm going to be able to afford. But if you've got £100,000 to spend on an electric car, or if perhaps your company car scheme stretches to something as prestige as this, well, one, you're lucky, and two, I think this is a pretty solid place to put your money. It's full of so many gadgets and gizmos which make it feel very special, but underneath it's just a fantastic car with so much driving engagement, and they've got those electric bits just about right. Sure, this M60 variant could have more range, but the trade-off is you get a car which truly takes your breath away. But let me know, are you thinking of purchasing the BMW i5? Can I have access to your bank account? No, but please let me know, and also let me know what else are you looking at in comparison to the i5. Pop it in the comments down below. Who knows, I might be able to test that as well. Really push the boat out for 2024. If you have enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more, then you know what to do. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, guys, see you later.